Here's how I would look at it. Like knowing the shapes in relation to the root. So like, just handle it the same way that you learn the minor pentatonic. So like when we learned an A minor pentatonic, presumably you learned it in A early on, right? You played A here. And when you did that, you were thinking about like your A bar chord, right? And then naturally you knew how to play an A chord. Crazy hair. You learn how to play an A chord here. Make sure I'm not clipping. And then you learn to play an A chord here as well. Anyway, so the idea is you learn the bar chord here and here, and or the bar chord. And then you kind of associated the pentatonic shapes with that. So here's my A chord, here's my pentatonic. And then here's this one. Right? So that's basically the same thing you want to do with these pentatonics, except maybe starting off with one chord you're applying it to, like the half diminished chords. And there's something else. Oh yeah, then of course you have blind spots, right? You have the ones that you don't know as well, and you expand out into those. So let's say, for example, you have an F sharp minor 7 flat 5. This would be the one you'd use. That'd be your obvious choice. Your first obvious choice. Right? All right. So what about if you were doing the other F sharp, the one on the A string? It's the same key, but instead of being here, thinking in this term. Yeah. Exactly. So if you're starting on this one, you can associate this shape with this mode. Both of them are really shapes, So like you could associate this chord shape with this scale shape. And you can associate this chord shape with this scale shape. Oh, sorry. There we go. And that's the one that we have as the C Lydian, right? C Lydian. They're like, relative to each other. So that's how you handle doing the chord there from the A string. Cool? Yeah. And then what you'll find is that you basically only have 2 positions. And that'll be okay at first, especially with the F sharp half diminished chord, because there's not a trillion of them in every tune, But then you basically, just like you did with your pentatonics, you get real good at one, and you get good at the other one, and maybe you get good at those 2 at the same time because they're so, they're your go-to spots. And then you find out the one that's right below the one you know well, and the one that's right above the one you know well, Like this, for example, this one. No, sorry. Is next to this one. And I really like this one. I like it's got that kind of like... It's got that kind of thing going to it. And where's the root in this chord? In that shape, I mean. Exactly. So when you play, if we're, let's say, I'm going to change the context back to our original, if you're playing in an A minor pentatonic and you play, and we learn learn this early on, that you can go. That's what we're doing here. We've got, and then of course we got F flat 5. So just like if I was going to play over, instead of calling it like an F sharp half diminished chord, if it was just a minor chord, I could do the minor pentatonic. And if I could do that, I could do the blues note. And then I'm actually using that mode. So you can practice just switching between your F sharp minor pentatonic and your F sharp locrian pentatonic. The F sharp locrian pentatonic basically is just going to be a blues note, you know, with the exclusion of the 5, and it kind of gives you something interesting to think about. So I could play like. By the way, I don't just think of this as the root. I think of this as the root also. Because I'm used to finding a root on that string, and if it's minor, I go, oh, minor, you know?